Today, I want to talk about a revolutionary topic that is transforming the way we view health and longevity. Imagine feeling younger, more energetic, and having vitality that rivals someone 30 years your junior. Is this possible? According to renowned Harvard genetics professor Dr. David Sinclair, the answer is a resounding yes. Dr. Sinclair has dedicated his life to uncovering the secrets behind aging and how we can reverse it. Surprisingly, it's not about expensive treatments or surgeries but something accessible to everyone: diet and lifestyle. This Harvard genetics expert has become a living example of his research. At 44, he was already a healthy man, but today, at 55, his appearance and health rival those of someone much younger. "My blood work and body composition are better than those of a 20-year-old, Sinclair states. How did he achieve this? Through specific changes in his diet, lifestyle, and by eliminating certain key foods that, according to science, accelerate aging. In this video, we will explore these foods and understand why avoiding them can be a crucial step in transforming your health and longevity. Before diving into the foods we should avoid, it's worth understanding why the dietary decisions we make have such a profound impact on our health. Sinclair explains that aging is not just an inevitable process but the result of accumulated damage to our bodies, which he calls the corruption of the biological software. However, he also asserts that it's possible to slow down this process and even reverse it. Professor Sinclair has identified a group of genes called sirtuins, which act as guardians of aging. These genes are activated when the body experiences moderate stress, such as during fasting or intense exercise. The good news? There are practical ways to stimulate these genes without resorting to extreme methods. Sinclair emphasizes that exercise is one of the pillars of staying young. According to his research, engaging in activities that elevate your heart rate to the point of breathlessness for at least 10 minutes, 3 times a week, can reduce the risk of diseases by 30%. This type of activity improves blood flow, strengthens muscles, and stimulates the release of chemicals that slow down aging. Sinclair asserts that the key to delaying aging is not in consuming more miracle foods but in shifting the focus to meal frequency and timing. This concept, known as time-restricted eating, has a significant impact on how our bodies combat aging. Dr. Sinclair practices and promotes intermittent fasting, a method that focuses on reducing the time window for eating during the day. He personally opts for an eating period of approximately 6 hours a day, spending the rest of the day fasting. The primary benefit of this practice lies in a process called autophagy, a natural mechanism where the body recycles damaged cells and unnecessary proteins, promoting cellular regeneration. Sinclair explains that by allowing the body to rest from digestion, longevity genes such as sirtuins are activated, strengthening our defenses against aging. When we refrain from eating for prolonged periods, our body enters a low-energy state, triggering the activation of sirtuins and other cellular repair mechanisms. Additionally, the liver begins to produce glucose naturally through a process called gluconeogenesis. Sinclair notes that after a few weeks of practice, the body adapts, and the sensation of hunger decreases significantly. Your liver becomes smarter than your eyes and mouth in managing the need for energy, he comments. By avoiding glucose spikes, not only is the risk of diseases such as type 2 diabetes reduced, but also mental fog and energy highs and lows are avoided. Dr. Sinclair offers practical tips for those wanting to try this eating style. Stay hydrated. Drinking liquids like water, tea, or coffee, without sugar, can help control hunger during fasting. Include light proteins if necessary. If hunger becomes intense, a handful of nuts can be enough to calm it without fully breaking the fast. Start gradually. There's no need to jump into a 6-hour eating window right away. Begin with 12-hour fasts and gradually reduce the eating window. Health impact. The benefits of intermittent fasting go beyond weight control. According to Sinclair, this practice can reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, protect against chronic diseases like cancer and cardiovascular conditions. While Sinclair prefers consuming one large meal a day, he acknowledges the importance of flexibility. For example, if he's in a special place or at a social gathering, he doesn't hesitate to enjoy an occasional breakfast. What matters is that fasting becomes a consistent practice, not an obsession, he emphasizes. Sinclair has adopted a diet prioritizing nutrient-rich plant-based foods, with a special focus on what he calls stressed plants. This revolutionary concept, known as xenohormesis, is the secret behind his diet. Xenohormesis is based on the idea that when plants face adverse conditions, such as drought or nutrient scarcity, they produce chemical compounds to protect and survive. These compounds, known as polyphenols, have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties that benefit those who consume them. According to Sinclair, these compounds can activate the same defense mechanisms in our bodies that prolong life, such as sirtuins. By including foods rich in polyphenols in his diet, Sinclair claims to be harnessing nature's wisdom to strengthen his health. Professor Sinclair has made an almost complete transition to a plant-based diet. Here are some key foods he consumes regularly. Green tea, especially matcha. Sinclair starts his day with a cup of matcha green tea, a beverage rich in antioxidants like EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, known for its anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Matcha isn't just delicious, it's packed with benefits that support longevity, he says. Spinach and other leafy greens. Leafy greens are an essential part of his diet. Spinach, in particular, is rich in iron, vitamins, and antioxidants that help combat oxidative damage. Sinclair recommends consuming them raw or lightly cooked to preserve their nutrients. Extra virgin olive oil. A staple of the Mediterranean diet, olive oil is rich in oleic acid, a compound that activates sirtuins and protects the heart. Sinclair considers it an essential source of healthy fats in his diet. Vibrantly colored vegetables. Always choose the most colorful vegetables, reds, purples, and dark greens, advises Sinclair. These colors indicate the presence of polyphenols and other beneficial phytonutrients. Examples include bell peppers, eggplants, and beets. Fruits in small quantities. While Sinclair limits his fruit intake due to sugar content, he opts for those rich in polyphenols, such as berries. Blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries are his favorites for their ability to combat inflammation and oxidative stress. Although Sinclair follows a predominantly vegetarian diet, he acknowledges that not everyone can easily adapt to this lifestyle. For those seeking alternatives, he recommends the Mediterranean diet or the Okinawa diet, both known for their positive impact on longevity. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, legumes, fish, and olive oil, aligns with Sinclair's principles. This eating style is easy to incorporate into a Western lifestyle and provides an excellent foundation for improving health. On the other hand, Sinclair practiced the Okinawa diet for years before becoming fully vegetarian. This approach includes rice, fresh vegetables, tofu, and a small amount of fish. Sinclair highlights the simplicity of this diet as an ideal transition toward a more plant-based approach. So far, we've explored how intermittent fasting and a plant-based diet can transform health. But what happens when we add key supplements to the equation? Dr. David Sinclair has identified 3 main supplements as part of his daily routine, which have shown remarkable effects in activating longevity genes. It's important to mention that Sinclair does not endorse specific brands or sell supplements. His approach is purely scientific, and his recommendations are based on years of rigorous research. That said, let's look at these 3 supplements and how they benefit our bodies. 1. Resveratrol. The antioxidant found in red wine. Resveratrol is a compound found in red wine, grapes, and other fruits, known for its antioxidant properties. Sinclair takes it every morning mixed with a bit of yogurt, as its absorption improves when consumed with fats. Why is it important? Activates sirtuins, the genes responsible for cellular repair and longevity. Combats oxidative stress, a major factor in aging. Reduces inflammation and protects against cardiovascular diseases. Laboratory studies have shown that resveratrol significantly improves the health of mice and extends their lifespan. While human studies are still ongoing, Sinclair asserts that the potential benefits are promising. 2. NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. The precursor to cellular energy. The second supplement on his list is NMN, a derivative of vitamin B3. This compound is crucial for the production of NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, a molecule that declines with age and is essential for cellular function. What does NMN do? Increases NAD+ levels, which are fundamental for activating sirtuins. Boosts cellular energy, enabling cells to function optimally. Helps combat signs of aging, such as muscle weakness and cognitive decline. Sinclair notes that taking NMN daily has doubled his NAD+ levels to what they were in his 20s. Additionally, he mentions that preliminary clinical trials have shown benefits such as reduced cholesterol and blood pressure. 3. Metformin. A medication with anti-aging potential. The third component of Sinclair's daily routine is metformin, a medication commonly used to treat type 2 diabetes. Although he does not have the condition, Sinclair takes it for its ability to regulate blood glucose levels and activate cellular protection mechanisms. Potential benefits of metformin: reduces the risk of chronic diseases, such as cardiovascular conditions and Alzheimer's. Improves insulin sensitivity, preventing glucose spikes and crashes. Stimulates metabolic pathways associated with longevity. Sinclair mentions that metformin is one of the safest medications available, with studies showing that even people without diabetes who take it tend to live longer. It's important to note that Sinclair does not suggest everyone take these supplements without medical guidance. Every body is different, and what works for him may not be ideal for everyone. Before considering any supplement, consulting a healthcare professional is essential. As research on longevity progresses rapidly, Sinclair believes that today's supplements are just the beginning. Over time, more specific and effective compounds will be developed to slow aging and improve quality of life. Foods Sinclair avoids to boost longevity. So far, we've explored the pillars of Dr. David Sinclair's diet and the supplements he takes to enhance his longevity. However, an equally important aspect is what he does not consume. Let's look at the 5 foods Sinclair deliberately avoids due to their negative impact on health and aging. These foods not only interfere with cellular repair processes but can also accelerate chronic diseases and lower quality of life. Discover what they are and why you should consider them prime candidates to reduce or eliminate from your diet. 1. Sugar. The biggest enemy of longevity. Sugar tops Sinclair's list of forbidden foods, and for good reason. According to him, sugar, especially in excess, is a trigger for metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes and fatty liver. Why is it so harmful? Protein caramelization. Sugar binds to proteins in the body, a process called glycation, which produces harmful compounds that accelerate aging. Chronic inflammation. Sugar promotes inflammatory states that affect the heart, brain, and other vital organs. Fuel for cancer cells. Sinclair mentions that cancer cells thrive in the presence of sugar, underscoring the importance of limiting its consumption. Healthy alternatives. If you want to sweeten your meals, Sinclair recommends natural options like stevia or monk fruit. These alternatives don't spike blood glucose levels and are much safer. 2. Bread and refined carbohydrates. The second item on Sinclair's list is refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pasta, and processed cereals. These foods are not only low in nutrients but also cause rapid spikes and crashes in glucose levels. Negative impacts. Reactive hypoglycemia. After consuming refined carbs, the body produces a large amount of insulin to reduce blood glucose, leading to hunger, fatigue, and brain fog. Contributing to weight gain. These foods are a major cause of fat storage in the body. Sinclair asserts that cutting bread and other refined carbs from his diet has significantly improved his glucose levels and mental focus. Healthy substitutions. Opt for whole grains, such as brown rice or quinoa, which have a lower glycemic index and release energy more gradually. 3. Red and processed meat. Although Sinclair enjoys the taste of meat, he decided to eliminate it from his diet due to the risks associated with regular consumption. Scientific reasons. High cholesterol and heart disease. The saturated fat in red meat contributes to elevated cholesterol levels, a risk factor for cardiovascular diseases. Protein and aging. Excessive animal protein consumption stimulates the mTOR pathway, which is linked to accelerated aging. What does Sinclair say? While I enjoy meat, I've found that a plant-based diet provides greater benefits for longevity. Sinclair suggests consuming proteins from plant-based sources, such as legumes, tofu, or even small amounts of omega-3 rich fish, like salmon. 4. Dairy. Less is more. Although Sinclair is not lactose intolerant, he removed dairy from his diet as an experiment, and the results were surprising. Observed benefits. Reduced inflammation. Cutting back on dairy decreased inflammation in his body, a key factor in preventing premature aging. Improved biomarkers. His cholesterol levels and other health measurements improved notably when reducing animal proteins. If you consume dairy, Sinclair recommends moderation and opting for plant-based alternatives like almond or oat milk. 5. Alcohol. Absolute moderation. The consumption of alcohol, especially on a regular basis, is also on Sinclair's list of foods to avoid. While he acknowledges that red wine has certain benefits due to its resveratrol content, he insists that alcohol, in general, is not beneficial for longevity. Negative effects of alcohol. Liver damage. Alcohol is a toxin that can harm the liver over time. Impact on the brain. Regular consumption affects cognition and accelerates brain degeneration. However, Sinclair suggests that if you want to enjoy an occasional drink, opt for red wine varieties like Pinot Noir, which contain higher levels of resveratrol. The results of avoiding these 5 key foods. What happens in our bodies when we make these changes? Can aging really be reversed? Science says yes, and here's a detailed explanation of what to expect. 1. Improvement in metabolic health. Eliminating foods like sugar, refined carbohydrates, and alcohol leads to significant changes in metabolic function. Key results. Stable glucose levels. Avoiding sharp sugar spikes and crashes reduces fatigue and constant hunger. Improved insulin sensitivity. This lowers the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and other metabolic diseases. Reduced abdominal fat. A more efficient metabolism helps mobilize stored fat, especially around the abdomen, which is associated with chronic illnesses. Sinclair explains that maintaining stable glucose levels also improves mental clarity and energy, allowing us to feel more focused throughout the day. 2. Activation of longevity genes. Excluding foods high in animal proteins and sugar activates sirtuins and other genes responsible for cellular repair and anti-aging defenses. How does this work? Reduced cellular damage. By avoiding compounds that promote inflammation and oxidative stress, cells can repair themselves more effectively. Prolonged cellular lifespan. Activating sirtuins supports tissue regeneration and the maintenance of vital organs. Sinclair states that these processes are amplified when combined with practices like intermittent fasting and regular exercise, creating a synergistic effect in the body. 3. Protection against chronic diseases. The foods Sinclair avoids are directly linked to an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. Reducing their consumption eliminates some of the primary factors contributing to health deterioration as we age. Supporting studies. People following plant-based, low-sugar diets have a reduced risk of heart disease. Cutting out alcohol and dairy can significantly lower chronic inflammation, a key factor in the progression of many illnesses. 4. Increased energy and daily vitality. One of the most notable benefits Sinclair mentions is the boost in energy levels and mental clarity. By eliminating foods that cause glucose spikes and crashes, the body maintains a steady supply of energy through gluconeogenesis. This translates to less fatigue during the day, improved concentration and productivity, a general sense of well-being and vitality. Sinclair claims this change in energy levels can be felt within just a few weeks of adjusting your diet. 5. Visible and lasting results. Finally, Sinclair emphasizes that avoiding these foods not only improves internal health but also has visible effects on the body. The skin, hair, and overall appearance reflect the benefits of a balanced and healthy diet. What to expect? Radiant, inflammation-free skin. Reduced fat accumulation in problem areas. A physical and mental state that reflects youth and health. We've reached the end of this journey through Dr. David Sinclair's strategies for living a younger, healthier life. Avoiding certain foods, combined with intermittent fasting, a plant-based diet, and a regular exercise routine, can transform not only our appearance but also our quality of life. What do you think about trying these changes? I invite you to take a step toward a longer, fuller life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who could benefit from this information. See you in the next video, where we'll explore more secrets for a healthy, energetic life. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor for guidance tailored to your specific situation.